Today is Friday the 13th. It's kind of late. I'm inspired, so I'm here. This is a pre-recorded Get Your It Together 2.1. Again, every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to actually do, let me turn this down just a bit. We're going to do our live, of course, live Get Your It Together. So I am your host, Avok, a voice of consciousness, aka King James, KYNGJAYMES. As a voice of consciousness, I do what? Channel. I channel, just like everybody else. We all channel. We channel from various dimensions throughout our day, throughout our life. That's a normal process. See, we have to understand that channeling is exactly what energy does. Energy, frequency, and vibration accesses consciousness all the time. And in order to do that fluently, flowingly, you'll have to channel through and from different dimensions. Remember, this is just a vessel. This is not an actual physical, you are an entity. You are not from this realm, if you will. We are non-local. Your spirit, or should I say the soul that resides in the temple of you, is not actually housed in the temple of you. That's why when people transition, they move from their physical. The spirit or the soul doesn't live. The seat of the soul is the pineal gland, but the pineal gland is a representative of the center of source that is you residing in source, the all that is. So we give thanks, honor, and reverence to, I say we are one. Thanks for being, and I'd say that we are one with source. You, me, we, one with source, or one as source. I say that because there's only one source. There are many gods, there's only one source. You can have however many gods you want. God is just an anthropomorphic deity that has been assigned to you by those that have no real understanding of what that is. However, as souls that reside here, not reside here, but as souls that play here on this level, which is the third dimension, as souls, this is the playground. This is where you access what it is that you are to know about yourself. Your experiences are but mirrors or reflections of that which you are as source. So you're here to do what you do because you want to know. It's not because you ain't got nothing else to do. In a way, maybe you don't have nothing else to do, but know yourself. That's really what it boils down to. So I'm going to dedicate this particular session, or I'm going to seek to channel the dichotomy of wanting to be seen, wanting to be known, be seen, which is an ego thing, essence, not seeing. So let me clarify that. Throughout time, the melanated beings on this planet throughout the eons of time seem like there's always been a struggle to be seen, to be noticed, to be accepted, to be a part of, to just say, hey, I matter, and you are, and you do. However, in the obsession to want to be seen and heard and want to make sure you're known to exist, which is crazy because there's no necessity to try to prove your worth or to prove who you are, only to those who don't know. And if you're trying to prove it, then you don't know. Let me say that again. If you're trying to prove to anybody who you are, then that and trying to validate yourself or make someone know, hey, you matter or you exist and all that, then that means you don't know who you are. Because your true nature and the true understanding of who you are doesn't need validation from man. I don't need somebody to say, I got a voice, or I can express myself, or I have the right to do. You're an autonomous, sovereign entity. And I say entity because you're not a being, or if you are a being, that's exactly what it is. You're being something, whatever that might be, whatever you might choose it for it to be. But I say entity because entity is more fitting of energy, frequency, and a vibratory, energetic frequency. A vibratory energetic frequency is more of an entity inhabiting or flowing through this vessel, or flowing through time, or flowing through the air, or floating through the water, that type of thing. So it's more of an entity than a actual something being. Being what? So when they talk about God, and I'm going to get back to being seen, when you talk about God, whose God are you talking about? Because you surely didn't choose a God. What you chose was spirituality and awareness. All melanated beings have an internal, encrypted data that connects you to the source, because you are a source unto yourself, and that source combined with the cohesive balancing in harmony, like a dance, like music flowing and playing. There's a rhythm to this. There's an actual presence that you are that's in sync with nature, with what is organic. And you've turned away from that. Well, I won't say you've turned away. What I will say is we've forgotten how to dance. We've forgotten the rhythm. We've forgotten the melody. We've forgotten how to flow. And that's where we are today. We're coming back to, we're getting back into harmony. We're coming back to the rhythm of the night, of the moon, of the sun. We're coming back to our rhythm. That's what this is all about now. Everything is all chaotic, so it seems, because they want to continue with extreme distractions, because you've forgotten who you are. And so the more you can be distracted from knowing self, knowing thyself, know thyself, the more you can be distracted from partaking in harmonizing, crystallizing, and rebalancing with the centered, with the center of yourself, because that's what all this is all about. It's about all about coming back to the center. You went away and went off and flowed wherever you wanted to go, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with anything. It's not. All is divine. We are a divine. We are a divine essence. We are the divine essence of the all that is, being all there is. Whatever you're being, we are it. And until we understand, well, we don't have to understand because it's about choice. Divinity doesn't force you, it doesn't make you, it doesn't put you in a box. You are free as the wind. You are the wind. Energy, frequency, and vibration. Frequency is just like the wind, moves in silence. You don't see it, but it's there and you know it, you feel it, you know it exists. You can't put your finger on it, you can't quite define it because it's indefinable. See, this is what we have to come to terms with remembering. But the whole point of the matter is, again, let me say that I am an energetic shaman, a vibrational minister, certified. Not to say that, you know, I don't have to go out in nature and do the drugs to reach this euphoric plateau to have these experiences. I'm consciously having these experiences every day. You are a walking, talking miracle. And even if you can't talk, your presence, the essence of all that you already are, is miraculous. It's beyond miraculous. And so wanting to be seen and heard because of the denial of your presence, or trying to say you don't exist, or making melanated beings be second nature or less than, or that's all psychological. All that stuff that was put on is a psych job, a mind fuck. That's what's going on. It's not really anything other than a psychotic um, um, deflection, or a psychotic superimposing, someone putting their shit on somebody else. So if you retrace, or turn this around 180 degrees, it's the same thing. Ignore, don't put a lot of time and effort and energy into stuff that has nothing to do with you. That's what you got to do. The essence of the all that you already are is in a system, the divine system, I must say, this divine system is regulated by the all that is. And guess what? You are a source within that source. You're connected to, always have been, never will not ever be disconnected. Psychologically, if you choose to be, the only way you can be seemingly disconnected is that you go to sleep. That's the whole idea. Keep you sleep. Don't allow you to be aware, so you will forget who you are. So this is where we are today. It's the time of reawakening. It's a time of sunshine. And you are the sunshine. You are already your sunshine. The sun is shining because you are it. See, this is a whole another concept of thought and processing angles of light. Each and every one of us, however many billion of people billions of people that exist all represents an angle of light. And guess what? In order to allow your light to shine, you have to go through some darkness. There's no way you can shine your light without having some exposure or being in the dark. And that's just a part of the process. It's the yin and the yang of all being all. The one source, there's only one source, being all things to everybody, everywhere, at all times, anywhere, anytime, right now. Not next year, not next month. You gotta die to get, nope, right here, right now. And you think about it, everything's happening right now. You might not be participating in it, but something is going on right now that you might not have nothing to do with, or might not want to have nothing to do with, or it's beneath you, or it's above you, or whatever. But it's happening right now in this very moment. Everything, anywhere. This universe is huge, or the world is huge, and people are having varying, different experiences all over the place, all kind of experiences. That's the whole point of source being all things at all times at one time. Now the beauty of all this is you get to choose how you want or what you want as an experience. You get to choose how you want or where you want or who you want to love. You get to choose it. You don't have to be stuck in the mundane scenarios of, well, um, that's all that's available, or that you can generate an idea around the type of love you want. And guess what? When you fuel that with intention and you're sincerely dedicated to being authentically true to that idea, you generate energy around it through your chakra, heart chakra, combined with the consciousness, and then you transport yourself or magnetize yourself to the place where it exists. And it exists right here, right now. It's just a question of you. But getting back to wanting to be seen, because it's been the running narrative that we don't exist, we're not important, you're not seen. We've been created, melanated, have started the whole, all that was started with the darkness. Dark people, dark continents, dark places. Seeds, as I said, a seed has to start off in the darkness. The pressure from the weight of the earth pressing down and the nourishment of the water with the heat or the sunshine forces that seed to bust open. It's pressure that busts pipes. It's pressure that creates diamonds from coal. It's pressure, and that's what we've been under for so long. But guess what? Just like every farmer has a harvest of the most beloved crops, so are you the harvest of the all that is. This is where we are today, family. And I say family of one source because there's only one source. You can miss me with God. God is an anthropomorphic term that's based on a limited and limiting mindset. God is not the all. God is not the ultimate of everything. And that is hard for some people to accept. Folks want to make God be everything, or Jesus. They don't even exist. The whole thing about the Bible was to get you to know who you are. It's about the function and the functionalities of the various aspects of your being put in metaphors. and wives' tales and stories, but not actual people. There's no history associated with that other than when it was created. We have to start thinking critically. We can't just let people tell it, especially people that don't really know. They're using something as a game, as a scam, and it's a game. It is a game. To be honest, your soul is playing, you having fun, and it's about you knowing yourself, reminding yourself to be the all that you are, and these are some things. These things will come as reflections. Your experiences are your that which you experience is reflective of the all that you are every day. All that's in you, all that's in your heart of hearts. It shows itself outside. Not that you're supposed to put all your emotions and your feelings in what you see, feel, touch, and smell, and that's the problem. That's that's what's been imposed upon us. Those are those of us that are asleep or still continue to sleep. That which has been imposed upon us, um, and you got to understand something. That's the nature of those that take, rob, steal, pillage. That's their legacy. We're talking about just like you melanated beings have ancestry, then and descendants of that cruel, vile, you know, criminal mindset. They have descendants. Though, what do you think the descendants are doing? The exact same thing, just on the level that they are at today. That's all this is. So you, me, we as one have a choice. We get to choose how we want to live, and we get to choose how we want to show up. And it's about being determined. It's about being disciplined. It's about being sincerely authentic with what, because the cycle that we're in is slowly overtaking, coming back to bring balance back. And we have to be on time. We have to be on top of that. We don't have to be on time. We just need to have the intention to move just like what we already are. We just have to have the intention. So in the eons of time where we've been wanting to be seen, and now everything is about, look at me, I'm this, I'm that, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. The only problem is you can't um, forget. You can't forget. You can't go back to sleep. See, now that there's a system that says we'll give you the freedom, you can speak and you can say what you want, and in essence you really can't, because it's propaganda will kind of turn you in another direction, or try to build a case up and say you something that you're not, to keep you silenced or to keep you not moving um, in harmony or in lockstep with nature. See, the whole thing is to get you out of your nature, to take you out of yourself. Um, and so the essence of the all that we're doing and all that we are has come back to claim us. You know, hey, you coming back to get yourself. This all that is, you're synced and locked in with it, is coming for you. Just like back in the day, they used to have the the cowboys and Indians, and the Indians would be taking over, and then the cavalry comes in, and they come over and do what they did. Well, they just giving you a little history on how, what they did and how they did it. You know, the Puritans wasn't pure. Those that landed on Plymouth Rock wasn't Puritans. These was cutthroats. They were exiled from Europe. You gotta understand something. The true history is not nothing nice, and we can try to act like we don't know it if we wanna, or we don't have to act like we don't know it. We can act like it don't exist. But the whole thing is the ego of a limiting energetic presence needed, wanted, and demanded attention like a spoiled brat. And we're living in that age right now. Everything is about the immaturity of it all. There's no mature mindsets. You know, there's no adult or mature person in the room, seem like it. And it's definitely not in a position of power. Everybody that's in power that is supposedly quote unquote having power, they're not mature. They're not that, and so they don't really run it. They are like small brats. Hey, I got the tools, I got the toys. If you don't do what I say, I'll take them away from you. Or I take my toys and go play, go take them somewhere else. Okay, so take them. We have to become unattached to all of this nonsense and find our own inner standing to draw our real true power. And the power comes from both sides, the dark and the light. You can't have you can't have light. You can't get the lightness from the dark. You can't get sorry. You can't get the light if you're not coming from the dark. See, light comes out of darkness. Darkness don't come out of light. Think about that. Human. That's what they say we supposed to be. Human. What is hue? Colors, light, frequencies. We're talking about free. See, again, all of the language is telling you everything, but because you sleep, you don't see it. You know, it's kind of like um, if your focus is on the left, you can't see the right. If your focus is in the front, you can't see behind. So it's a matter of what you're focusing on and how much you are comfortable with allowing yourself to be free thinking. Free thinking, because it's not about incarceration anymore. It's not about being on lockdown, and so everything is on lockdown. It's always been on lockdown, but now they're finding ways to lock down things more. See, the whole thing is about to have complete dominance, dominion, and control. That's that. If you can't see that, then okay, it's not your time. I'm only speaking to those. I'm actually only speaking to me because this again is for me to um, release what's in me because I can't hold it anymore. I can't sit back and not say anything. And at some point I will be doing a little more um, things, but in essence, it's not really about exposing or letting everybody know because it's not for everybody. Everything ain't for everybody. Plain and simple. We don't all move the same way and think the same way and talk the same. It's the same language. Everything's not for everybody, and it's okay. That's not a bad thing. It's just that it's just a thing. Everything's not for everybody, and it's not wrong or right. It's not a up or down. It's just more about what resonates within your frequency or what resonates in your heart or what you resonate with. That's how this works. It's not about, you don't have to agree with me. I'm not asking you to like, share. I mean, if you do that, that builds and everything and it helps. Yeah, of course. But that's a part of their game. I don't really care. I was doing this before any of this stuff was going down. I was doing this before there was the likes and all of this. You know, the production company, King James Productions. I put poets on. Some poets have went on to do some major things in the society, and that's great for them. And I support and applaud them. I put on shows that would help give exposure to those in the community that wasn't getting exposure or didn't have much exposure. Took poets on the road. My website speaks to some of my well, clearly a lot of my background. JHWENTINC .com. That's JHWENTINC.com. My website speaks to um, some of the history of what I've done. It's not like this ain't nothing that I'm not. This ain't just I'm just trying to be seen, or this is a fresh start, or I just started on this. No, I've been walking this road a long time, and it's okay. It ain't about, it's more about me having experience and knowing. See, I no longer believe. I don't have to believe. You don't have to believe when you know. There's nothing to believe in when you know. When you know, you don't have to sit up, well, I believe and I think and I wish and I hope and that. No, when you know, you just know. And you speak like that, you walk like that. You carry yourself with the dignity and the integrity that says that speaks for you. Your energy precedes you. Before you get in the room, they can feel your energy. That's how this works now. This is not about what you see, feel, touch, smell, hear, taste, and hear. It's more about um, what's in you intrinsically, how you're responding, and what is resonant. What is the resonant frequency that you are aligning yourself with? How is that alignment to the all that you already are? Because these times that we're in is ushering in the cohesive harmony of the all that you already are right now, and that's going to be the calling, like the Gabriel, like the horns, the blowing the horn, to bring everybody in, or to have everybody move as one. Yeah, one within you, and then that syncs up and links up with the all that already is. And so you don't have to, we don't have to move as a collective, you know, everybody doing the same thing or everybody going the same route. I mean, that's fine. It's not saying that's not, you don't got to do it, you don't need to do it. But what I'm saying is, it's not necessary, because the power each and every individual have when they're in sync or in tune with themselves is going to move mountains. It's moving mountains. We're doing things, and people is just quietly, they're not telling you about the powerful things that are happening by people, just like they talked about Tulsa and all of the uh, Black Wall Street and all that kind of stuff, and they would only bring up one or two places. There was probably more than 50, 60 different communities throughout the country like that was up and coming, and what, they couldn't handle it. Those less than um, barbaric Neanderthals couldn't handle it, you know, because in their minds, they want, it's like having someone that's in your camp that, you know, you welcome with open arms, but they jealous of you. They can't stand to see you do well. That's kind of where we are. And it's okay, because that's never going to prosper. Even if they get a little bit, it's never going to last, because how they got it. And that's the whole point of why it's all crumbling now, and has crumbled, actually. So wanting to be seen and wanting to be heard and getting recognition and getting validation from those entities that aren't really worthy, that are not masters of anything but sickness, illness, disease. They're the masters of um, all of the vile and the evils, whatever that might be. of the world. And this is what we pattern ourselves after. A lot of us have patterned ourselves after. We see that as success. We see that as what it is to do and be and have, because, and the more we're seen and get the attention of those entities that really don't really, they just finding a way to use you. That's really all it is. How do you serve their best interest? And when you're no longer useful, then you got to go, or they put you out to pasture, or do away with you, or what have you. So being seen, or wanting to be seen by those who are ill, this is a psychotic, um, narcissistic environment. So for you to come through this and have any type of modicum of morality, because you can't get positivity or any type of balanced cohesiveness out of a negative and imbalanced, chaotic situation, intentional. You're not going to get the results you want. And so wanting to be seen and heard and recognized, and finally getting somebody to notice who you are, that is trying to control, manipulate, and indoctrinate you in a realm or in some stuff that ain't got nothing to do with you. We forget the major aspects, and the major aspects is we're not seeing them. We're not seeing them for what they really are. Because if you did, and if you would, then you wouldn't want to be like them, and you wouldn't concern yourself with wanting to continue to try to be up in the auspices and the grace of that which is less than what your highest, best self is. We're not here to do less than. We're here. However, I will say many have the experiences and some like it. And that's fine too, because again, we are autonomous, sovereign. And being autonomous and sovereign, you get to choose. And that's your choice. Your experiences are based on you and what your desires are of your heart, not mine. I'm speaking from what's in me, or what's coming through me, really. We all channel, like I said, it's channeling. I'm channeling information or channeling through, and it's more than information, because I've had some experiences that's allowing me to magnetize on the dimensions and the spaces that I flow through, that I'm able to communicate with based on my level of consciousness through my experiences. And this is over time. This is not like, and I'm not saying it can't happen that way, but I'm just saying where I'm at and what I'm saying and what I'm doing and how I'm moving and how I've moved is been based on what's in me and the draw to the various dimensional levels of consciousness through the dimensions that I curiously wanted to know about. How do I process beyond this realm? And I used to see people that call themselves channelers, and they turn into somebody else, and they have different names and all of that, and that's fine. But the thing is, it was a gimmick. I mean, they was doing what they did, and they may have been doing it genuinely, but they utilized it gimmicky, as a gimmick to ingratiate and make money as a result, and that's fine too. But when that becomes the reason, when that becomes your intention, your heart's intention to do or to be, to do that, you know, to kind of, because in doing that, if you're not authentic with it, you're intentionally deceiving people. That's a takes on a different type of presence, and that's the issue. See, we have to be what in the Mayat, the time of Mayat, we have to be, heart has to be light as a feather. And what that means is you can't hate, you can't be mad, you can't find issues, you can't be all the things that the news and these talk shows and all this negative. You got to be the opposite of all of that in order for you to flow with the presence of the all that you already are, getting back to yourself, your divine, authentic, true, moral, dignified self. You have to let all that stuff go. All this shit is garbage. You can enjoy it and chill in it and play in it, and but when the street lights come on, or it's dinner time and it's time to go home, you gotta know your ass. You gotta know where home is, and that's where we are today. This is what's going on right now, as I speak. And I do this for me. Now, if some other people can resonate with it, and they it turns on the light or reminds you like it's reminding me, so be it. That's what it's about. That's how it works. Divinity does not sit up and classify and say you're on this level and you have this. You are this and you are no. Everything is everything. All things have the choice, or all beings, I should say, have a choice. A blade of grass came as a blade of grass. It has life, it has consciousness, but it's a blade of grass. It's not doing or being anything other than a blade of grass. We have the ability, physically, mentally, psychologically, any way we choose, we have the ability to do everything that is throughout the whole of all that is. We have that ability to do everything. We can replenish ourselves, we rejuvenate ourselves, and we never, ever, ever die. The death meaning as in no more life. That we're infinite, we're eternal. I'll say this and I'll cut this off. As a young man, maybe 8, 9 year old child rather, 8 or 9 years old, read the article about how they were using, they wanted to split the atom. And so they created these humongous machines to pierce and to bust open an atom. Now, an atom, you can't see it, but we know it's a part of the structure of all matter. Now, that's a dichotomy in itself. Atom, you can't see it, but it's the structure of all matter, and matter, material, is stuff you can see, feel, touch, smell. So that's interesting anyway. But anyway, they created this machine, bust open the atom, right? And what they found was, when they busted open, it was a gazillion more atoms. So in other words, you can't destroy it. You can't even fathom. That's the problem with the concern with suppressing or trying to suppress melanated beings. They know our power. We have to know it. Okay? And so, in wanting to be seen so much and heard so much and want so much attention for all of the wrong reasons, see, wanting attention for all of the reasons that they've given us to aspire to, keeps us ignorant and sleep on seeing them for who they really are. That's where we are today. We have to see everything as it really is. We have to take, when you boil all the fat off of it, do you have lean meat or do you just have bone? See, this is where we at. So, once again, I will be doing a live in the morning. This is kind of late, but hey, this is how I'm inspired. I said I was gonna do it Tuesday and Wednesday, but you know, I'm never inspired. Well, I won't say never, but I haven't been inspired on Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm inspired, it seemed like the night before. But I'm still gonna get up and do um, the 10 a.m. Live, um, YouTube, 10 a.m. live. I will connect my Patreon and all the other stuff. Um, I have to make some decisions so that I can release free up some more time to start really cohesively putting it all together. Um, because I'm back on the grind. I'm about to get back into the flow of the all that already is that which is. So, and I am that, and we are that, and you, me, we is one with source, or one at source. We are the source. So, um, so get your no, a voice of consciousness 4019 is the YouTube channel. Um, and if you like what's going on, there is a Cash App, obviously, and that would be $ voice of C, capital V, lowercase voice of, and capital C. So the V and the C, voice of C, is the Cash App handle. And again, it's all love. Nothing is less than. All of it's different levels of, but it's all love. The whole idea of why we're doing what we're doing and in this place where we are is to come back to ourselves, is to know yourself, is to get enough pressure build up on you to make you make the decisions to re-energize yourself, to turn on, tune in, and turn it up. All right? Once again, this is AVOC, a voice of consciousness, coming to you, pre-recorded, and AKA King James, KYNGJAYMES. All good, all love. We, me, we, as one with source. You, me, we, one with source. One family. Peace.